So when we talk about building envelope, we are talking about the substructure and the superstructure. Yung envelope natin for the substructure, of course, is yung ating moisture barrier and yung ating soil protection and even sometimes pati yung ating termite protection. Yung termite protection natin, of course, pagka isang piraso lang, maliit lang na building or maliit lang na bahay, normally soil poisoning na binubuhos, okay lang yan. Pero if you have a bigger building or system within a certain development, meron yung tinatawag na reticulations or yung mga pipes na nakalatag sa ilalim ng building. Kasi kailangan mong ulit-ulitin ang soil poisoning or termite protection. In order for you to do that continuously, syempre, pag nakatayo na yung building, you cannot do that. So what you can do is you put parang irrigation or what we call, technical term is reticulation. So, ini-inject na lang doon yung soil protection or soil poisoning o kaya termite protection, termite control doon sa tubo. Even small houses, I have a small project right now na isang maliit lang na bahay, duplex siya, pero meron silang reticulation, nilagay ng developer. So that is a protection sa substructure. Yung waterproofing natin, that's a form of a building envelope to protect whether positive or negative siya na waterproofing, either inside or outside. Both of that is still an envelope for the building. It protects it from the element and from nature. Now, ang pinaka-common of course na alam natin na building envelope is of course yung roofing system. Yun yung pinaka covering ng buong building natin. Kasi sometimes, the roof itself, maski wala kang walls, kasi meron tayong mga structure na walang walls. Waiting shed, wala yan actually wall. But it is a building. Ano yung envelope niya? Yung roof. So meron siyang covering, meron siyang protection against the elements. At least not only itself, but also the occupants or users. So yun yung pinaka-common natin na building envelope. And of course, yung ating pinaka-wall system, yung ating pinaka-facade, whether you're using concrete, you're using bricks, precast man siya or cast in place, you're using plastic, you're using glass, those are building envelopes pa rin. Now, of course, hindi lahat ng building envelopes natin is yung pinaka-common materials. Okay, pwede na tayong ngayon gumamit ng wood, pwede na tayong gumamit ng textile, we can use now plastics. There are different choices ng material natin or enclosure na pwede natin gamitin. So, it's up to you to choose through careful analysis. Yung building system, as we have already discussed before, hindi yan hindi yan dependent. Interdependent siya. Kasi each one, simply because ito yung pinili mo na system sa air conditioning, ito yung magiging envelope mo. Pag ito pinili mo na structural system, ito lang yung magiging kayang bitbitin noon, ito lang yung dapat mong building envelope. Hindi ka pwedeng gumamit ng steel kasi ginamit mong framing wood. Masyadong mabigat, hindi niya kakayanin. So, gagamit ka ng plastic. So, there are limitations on the other system, part of the system, when you choose a different system kasi interconnected sila. So, that is something na we take in mind. Now, of course, when we talk about the wall system, it's important to understand the different way na we connect them, yung integrations niya. We talked about that on our first meetings na merong certain integration. Kailangan siyang mag-move independent of another. You don't want the curtain wall na pagka hinangin siya, tumatama siya dun sa slab mo. Meron siya dapat way for it to move. Yung steel framings mo, dapat yan, pagka merong certain movement, hindi yan tatama sa ibang elements mo, let's say sa wall. So there are ways within the connections, details natin, that ensures that each materials is independent but relative to another one, dependent to another one. So meron silang either freedom to move or freedom to expand. As we mentioned last meeting, yung concrete and steel are a perfect material together kasi yung kanilang thermal expansion, yung coefficient nila, the amount of expansion it does and contraction it does, pag siya ay naiinitan or nalalamigan, ay pareho. So, hindi sila naghihiwalay. Kasi pag makikita nyo minsan yung hollow blocks at saka yung pinto, minsan nagkakameron siya ng crack. Simply because yung wood nag-expand, let's say, 1%, yung CHB nag-expand 0.5%, yung difference na yun, nagka-crack. Kailangan pareha sila na expansion dapat. Na kung sakali mo magkaiba sila, dapat meron siyang gap in between. That's why naglalagay tayo ng mga silicone. Naglalagay tayo ng expansion joint. That allows different movement ng isa between the other one. So that pag nag-move yung isa, hindi naapektuhan yung isa. So if ever pinag-joint mo sila, let's say, ng paint, doon nagka-crack yan. So the jointing or connection details is very important. It affects your building system sa wall system. So I'm just reviewing here. Ha? Meron tayong mga principles sa analysis ng design natin. We've already discussed this. Yung heat natin, yung wind, yung moisture, the differences, the thermal expansion, which I was just mentioning earlier. And of course, the extreme weather. If you remember yung last na typhoon, some location in Bicol province, they measured up to 225 kilometers per hour na wind. Previously, we were only considering 120 to 140, even until 180. Yung pinaka-latest nga actually, 220 lang. Pero right now, we have to consider 220 to 240 wind speed sa ating mga facade. So when you're dealing with your building, kailangan mong i-analyze siya, can it withstand this speed? My mom was actually worrying about yung house namin kasi yung kapitbahay ay nagliliparan yung bubong. Yung bubong ng mga kapitbahay namin is low yung slope, mga ganito. Yung sa amin, ganito. Halos 45 degrees. So I was telling her, yung wind, pag tumama sa kanya dito, is actually pushing it inward. Pagka ganito, that's the reason why lumilipad yung mga bubong. That's why yung mga long span sheets, pagka masyado siyang mababa yung slope mo, kahit gaano kahaba yan, kahit walang yung seamless yan, pwede pa rin yan tangayin with a certain slope. So may recommendation yan kung ilan ang haba ng sheets mo dun sa slope mo. Hindi yan na magde-decide ka na lang na ito yung slope ko, ito yung span ko. No, there is a science behind that. So you would have to ask the manufacturer. Ano ba yung maximum slope ko para for these sheets, for this length? That is something that you have to tackle. Yero lang yun. Pero it's something na you have to know. Kasi it affects, pagka tinangayan, nakakahiya. Kaninong design yan? Bakit tinangayan? Flat slab na lang kayo para hindi tangayin. Guguho na lang. Okay. So, of course, mayroong mga ibang issues pa na you have to think about. Fire safety, acoustic, ito bang envelope kung to ay maingay. We have a project na pag tuwing dumadaan yung mga 18-wheelers, yung glass niya is nag-shake. So we have to think about that. Of course, hindi yung project namin, I'm sorry, yung kapitbahay. So sabi ng may-ari, we don't want that to happen to our building, ha? Na pagka dumadaan yung 18-wheeler, kumakalog yung aming glass. So, maintenance, how do you replace it pag nabasag? Of course, pagka nasa ground floor ka lang, second floor, that's not an issue. Pero pagka nasa 70 floor ka na, 50 floor, paano ba siya papalitan? How do you bring yung replacement up? Kasya ba siya sa elevator o hindi? So, paano mo siya aakyat sa BMU? Meron akong cradle, iaakyat ko siya. Ngayon, meron ka bang, baka may canopy ka. We have a project sa BGC, yung sa Rustans Group. Ang problema, meron siyang canopy somewhere in the podium na pagkakukunin yung material sa gilid, hindi may aakyat yung glass. So we have to think about that. So those are things that you have to consider. Materials durability, how do you maintain it? How do you replace it? Those are critical informations na sa design pa lang will tell your clients if you have thought about your design or not. Of course, may specialized performance. We have already discussed this also last meeting. Like we mentioned, meron na tayong consideration ngayon sa mga terrorism, chemical, biological. We have a client in Dubai before, an embassy. Tinatanong kami, what if meron nagpaputok sa gantong klase? How would it affect our door? So, it's an issue right now. Yun ay kita ninyo sa US Embassy na parang meron siyang mga plant box sa labas. Hindi lang yun. That's a form of a building facade also, building envelope. Kasi it protects also from terrorism. Hindi basta-basta makakapasok yung sasakyan. May reason siya. Merong layers of protection. If you look at your history of architecture, again, sorry, this is a different subject, but merong lessons kasi from there. Yung castle design before, meron siyang progression between walls. Kasi it's a sort of protection. It's the envelope of the castle. The castle itself is not the envelope, but even the walls protecting it. The layer of walls protecting it. From the drawbridge, the rampart, everything, even yung kanyang parapet, walls, everything there is to protect it. Not only from the element, but of course from attack. So ngayon, concern na rin natin yun kasi may ina-attack na mga buildings natin ngayon. In fact, we designed a palace in the UAE. Yung kanyang mga bintana, ang kapal nung may double wall siya, so that pagka may emergency, meron siya nagro-roll down na door para takpan yung glass niya. So mapuprotektahan siya. If you watch a movie, may isang movie na Firewall. Meron siyang ganon yung kanyang bahay. So may mga residences ngayon na merong ganong klase. Again, that is the building envelope. So of course, merong ibang concerns, budget, schedule, quality, that's normal. We ask this on your prelim exam. That is the basic constraint natin. Pero of course, merong other concerns, like we mentioned technology, and that two additional, meron tayong project management body of knowledge, if those of you have taken that project management, especially with me. Yung fifth edition doesn't have risk and benefit. The sixth edition, nagdagdag sila ng additional constraint, risk at saka benefit. Kasi meron tayong mga client na ayaw nila yung risk. So it becomes a constraint. Yung iba naman, they can take the risk. So yung constraint na yon hindi kasama sa'yo. Benefit, yung iba naman, they want the benefit pero they don't like the risk. They want the benefit of yung Instagrammable yung building nila pero ayaw nila yung risk na masyadong mahal or hindi nila mababalik yung kanilang investment. So there are situations like that. Now, when we talk about building envelope, meron during the modern era where we use glass, steel, and concrete. And of course, right now, we have sa contemporary design, we have yung flowing, preform, even glass, concrete. We have LED lights. We have dynamic facade. We have a responsive wall system. Merong pangang wall system which is water. Na pag dumadaan yung tao, meron siyang sensor na nawawala yung tubig dun sa dadaanan. So, pag dumaan ka dun sa maling location, of course, mababasa ka. Pag dumaan ka dun sa tamang location, mawawala yung tubig, makadaan ka. So, there are situations or designs like that. So, of course, meron mga emergent trends tayo. Like we mentioned, may 3D printing, meron tayong green architecture, meron tayong parametric, meron tayong computer generated na mga images. So, marami na tayong ways for us to design our, I was thinking about computational design. So, computational design, so, syempre, hindi ka na mag-iisip kung saan pupunta yung lines. The computer helps you in doing that. So, as we move forward, we were talking about the wall system last time. Meron tayong unitize, may stick, meron tayong panel system, may cable networks, meron tayong mga storefront design or glass fins, and pinaka cost efficient in the long term is of course yung double wall assemblies. Magastos siya sa initial, yung capital expense, pero yung OPEX or operational expense is less pagka gumagamit ka ng double wall assemblies. So it's up to you to convince your client which one to go for. Now, as we move forward, we talk about glass. Ito yung pinaka-common na materials natin na ginagamit. Ito yung pinaka-common na pinakamaganda, pinaka-flexible na gamitin ngayon. So, it is a hard and brittle inorganic substance. Now, it is blown, cast, drawn, rolled, and pressed into variety of shapes. Hindi lang siya laging flat. Meron na ngayong mga curve. Meron ngayong preform. Merong clear. Merong reflective. Merong non-reflective. So, there are different types of application ng glass. And yung mga common materials na ginagamit natin is of course yung annealed, colorless, transparent. Yung pinaka-common na ginagamit natin sa mga bintana, even yung mga bintana natin sa LPU campus, annealed lang yun ng clear float. Of course, mayroong ultra clear. Ibig sabihin lang nun is kukunti lang yung impurities niya so that mas malinaw siya. You would love this pagka ikaw ay retail. Siyempre, ayaw mo na malabo yung glass. Gusto mo makita yung items mo inside your building. Whether you are inside the mall or the mall itself, you would like to use clear. Of course, mayroong tinted so that we can have a sort of shading. Sa car, of course, masyadong mainit. So you want it tint. Ganon din sa bahay. Sometimes you don't want the heat. But of course, sometimes we use the heat using laminates. In between the glass, meron tayong laminate inside. So that either it protects it also from shattering, but it also helps us to shade us. Meron tayong mga tinted glass na let's say brown, merong pink. So it's up to you, pwede kang pumili. Different chemicals lang to attain the different colors. Of course, meron mga reflective. You would want this sometimes, and sometimes non-reflective if you don't want this. Pinaka-common na alam ninyo para for green building is of course yung low E. Okay? Low emissiveness lang siya. So hindi siya, it helps you insulate from the heat from the outside. The low E is of course applied outside, but it could be applied inside also. But of course, it's more effective if it is outside. So yung camera ni Marie Antoinette ay pusa na ang ating kausap. Yun, andun pa siya. So kasi pusa na yung nakikita ko eh. So anyway, so of course, meron tayong tempered glass. It's actually just heat treated. When you talk about tempered, hindi lang yung nakikita natin sa cellphone natin. It's just a stronger glass. It's additional heat treating. Mas mabilis lang siyang kinul after it is heated. Merong insulating glass unit. Ibig sabihin nun, isang piraso kasama na yung frame, kasama na yung insulation. Everything is already one piece. Ikakabit mo na lang. So meron tayong mga insulating glass unit. Usually this is panel. Okay? And of course, lastly, yung wired. Okay? Ito yung ginagamit natin minsan to protect a glass from either breakage, from intrusion, from theft, or sometimes for fire. Kasi you don't want, wala kasi by itself ang glass na insulation or I mean protection. So pag nabasag siya, wala na. Even yung laminated, of course, it affects it. Yung wired creates a sort of reinforcement. Isipin mo na lang ang semento na walang bakal, okay pa rin naman yan eh. Kaso nga lang, pag nilagyan mo ng bakal, mas matibay. Ganon din ang glass. Pagka wala siyang wire, matibay naman siya. Pero mas matibay siya if it's wired. Meron siyang wire sa loob. Of course, meron siyang reason why we use different glass. It's the break patterns. Mapapansin nyo, yung annealed glass saka yung heat-treated glass lang, pag nag-break siya, triangular. The problem with that is pag nabasag yung glass nyo, 3-story, even 2 stories lang, bumagsak yan sa tao sa ground floor. Basag, pwede siyang mamatay. Pwede siyang masugatan. Samantalang pag tempered siya or laminated, it protects not only the occupants but also those outside. Kasi yung tempered, maliliit siya eh, nagbe-break into small pieces. Yung laminated naman, because of the lamination, it holds it in place. Hindi siya nag-iwahiwalay. Para siyang merong plastic holding it together. So, your choice of your facade glass will tell you what you would like to protect. Now, meron mga projects naman na hindi mo kailangan ng protection. Mahal kasi ang tempered at saka laminated glass. So, you have a choice. Yung mga areas na hindi naman kailangan ng tempered saka laminated glass, don't use it. Yung kailangan, you use it. That's why may specifications. You specify what material to use where. So, hindi yung pag tinanong ka ng contractor nyo, architect, anong gamitin natin glass dyan? Bahala na kayo. Hindi naman pwede yun. You have to tell them ano yung kailangan mo. Hindi mo rin pwede sabihin, okay, tempered. Anong kapal? Bahala na kayo. Hindi rin pwede yun. There's a reason for the thickness. There's a reason why we use 6 mm, why we use 12 mm, why we use 18 mm. The location. So many times, ako, naging biktima na rin ako nito. Sa sobrang linaw ng glass, yung condo sa Quezon City, Pagpunta ko dun sa lobby, may dala-dala akong gamit, takbo ako, tinamaan ko yung glass. Nabuti na lang, maski sa laki ko, sa kadala ko, hindi nabasag kasi tempered glass siya. Iisipin mo lang kung annealed yun, so nagbayad pa ako ng glass. So there's a reason why a certain thickness, a certain type of glass is used simply because of where it is used. So you would notice that the main difference between heat and tempered glass, pareho silang heat-treated. Pero the other one is slow yung cooling, the other one is fast yung cooling. So yun lang yung difference ng dalawang yun. So both of them are heat-treated. So normally ang gamit natin is heat-treated glass or tempered glass. But of course, some application, especially above, I use and specify sometimes laminated glass, depending on its ability to break or affect. Normally, pagka canopy na glass, tempered and laminated. Kasi pagka nabasag yun, I don't want it falling on anyone. But just in case na kaya ng budget, i-laminate ko na rin siya. Kasi tempered glass, safe na yon. Pero of course, laminated, even safer. Okay. Merong mga different special glasses ngayon, napapansin kayo. Okay? You've seen this. I think nakita nyo na sa Facebook, nakita nyo na sa YouTube. Meron tayong transparent na glass. So ito is a good application. Here, hindi siya really an innovation eh. The innovation is where they used it. Available na yung smart glass eh. Sa mga meeting rooms, conference rooms, private rooms. They've used it already. Pero it was this architect who used it para sa toilet. You would notice, unusual. Why would you use glass sa toilet? Pero this is a smart glass. May reason siya for that. Kung nabasa nyo na, that's good. Kung hindi nyo pa nabasa, the reason was, sa Japan daw, marami kasi na babae, Diyos sa toilet nila, may mga tao na naghihintay sa loob. So, for safety reasons, they would like to know kung first, may tao o wala. Second, kung malinis o madumi. So, ayaw naman nila na gamitin siyempre pag madumi. Ayaw nilang gamitin siyempre kung may tao na nagtatago sa loob. So, when it's clear, both, nakikita mo kung madumi o malinis. Second, nakikita mo kung may tao o wala. And when you close it, the smart glass activates and of course, hindi ka kita. Yun nga lang, I don't know kung meron siyang backup kasi it's electrical yan eh. So syempre, pagka nasa gitna ka ng ginagawa mo tapos nawala yung kuryente, I don't know kung meron silang backup. So that's another story. But of course, that's I think something na the designer has already thought of. The next thing is of course curved glass. We have a project sa Buendia na we were recommending this hotel na yung corner walls niya is a curved glass. Yung corner wall lang kasi mahal ito eh. So yung 4 na corner lang niya, gusto namin curved glass. We were unable to convince the client kasi yun nga mahal. So naging na lang siyang chamfer. Pero available na sa Pilipinas ang curved glass. Of course, mahal lang siya ng konti. Okay? It has to be tempered naturally. Pero pwede kang gumamit ngayon ng term curved glass or meron tayong tinatawag na profile glass. You can create a glass using the profile na you want. Of course, again, it's an issue of cost. And lastly, meron tayo, of course, fire-rated glass. Okay? We have a project sa Cebu na we recommended this, na yung fire exit stairs niya is covered in glass. Pwede naman kasi. If you've already seen a lot of Foster's design for the Apple Store, they've already used glass for floor, they've used it already for wall, they use it for stairs. Stairs, ha? Stairs. So, pwede mong gamitin to. It's really up to you. Pwede mo siyang gamitin. So, ngayon, yung fire rating naman sa fire exit is 2 hours. Now, glass can be rated so that it is 3 hours fire rating. So, kayang-kaya niya. So, pwede natin siyang gamitin. So, kung gusto nyo gamitin siya, kailangan maganda lang yung hagdan mo, no? Kasi naka-glass ka nga. Tapos pangit naman yung hagdan ng fire exit stairs mo. Sayang lang. So, syempre, pag pinaganda mo yung fire exit enclosure mo, dapat paganda yung hagdan mo. So, that's one way na pwede ka magyabang ng konti. Okay. Now, why are we talking about the building envelope in the different types of building? Kasi, as an architect, as a designer, we're concerned about the facade. Gusto natin siyang maganda. Kasi, it is the architectural character. It is the identity. mapapansin ninyo na some building, silhouette pa lang, alam mo na kagad kung ano siya. Close up pa lang, alam mo na kagad kung anong building siya. Saan siya? Sino yung architect? That's why it's not really just the materials that dictates, but the designer, careful use of material, careful choice of material. Kasi it is up to us to look for a material or combination thereof that creates a certain identity. Kasi personally, I think architecture is human. It has to be relative. Hindi ka pwedeng, naka-bell bottom ka pa rin tapos yung the rest ay nakabaston na. Kailangan medyo sasabay ka ng konti sa uso, pero meron kang separate identity. So yung building mo, pwedeng pare-parehas kayong semento, pero pwede kayong semento mo may texture. Yung semento mo ay merong different materials. Meron kang depression, meron naka-protrude. Pwede namang pare-pareho pero different. You create your own identity. We all look the same. May head tayo, may kamay, may paa, may katawan. So, we're the same. Pero, meron tayong mas malaki ng konti yung tiyan. Yung iba may abs. Yung iba ab lang. So, iba-iba tayo eh. Merong different identity. Ganon din ang building natin. Some of us will have a branded material. Yung iba, ordinary lang. Yung iba luma na, yung iba bago pa. There are buildings right now who are using old materials for their facade. They're using used sheets for their facade. In fact, merong isang project na pinatanda niya yung kanyang material para gamitin. So, meron din tayong mga tao ngayon na nagsusot ng pantalon na binubutasan nila para lang magmukhang luma. That's how it is. You have to create an identity for your building. Everybody's using concrete, everybody using steel, everybody using glass. But your careful and thoughtful use of this material creates the identity. So, sa Wikipedia, yun yung sabi niya. Now, sa Dictionary of Architecture and Construction, it says na it distinguished our design from one or another. Now, let's look at some design. Who can tell me who is the architect of this material? Anyone? Who would like to venture a guess kung sino yung architect of this material? Okay, this is just concrete. This is just cast concrete. This is tiled concrete. Sino yung architect nyo kilala na gumamit niyan? Anyone? You can turn on your audio. Walang magta-try. Come on.
Walang idea.
Ha? Who's that? Walang magta-try.
Hula, sir. Yun.
Sino?
Hula lang.
Oh, pwedeng hula lang, pwedeng mali. At least you tried. Sino? Come on, guys. This is very simple. History of architecture. Wala. Sige na nga. Yung next one na lang. Ha?
Wala talaga idea, sir. Pero, Foster, normal Foster, hindi.
Hindi. This is Frank Lloyd Wright. Siya yung mahilig sa gantong klaseng materials. But of course, hindi lang siya. Pero this particular design is Frank Lloyd Wright. This one siguro naman, kilala nyo. Isa lang namang arkitektong mahilig dito eh. Medyo luma na, of course, medyo pabago ako ng pabago. Nag-umpisa ako doon sa pinakaluma. Who do you think is this architect?
Sir Calatrava.
Oh, yes, it's correct. It's Calatrava. So, thank you for joining, playing the game, Mr. Mongas, Miss Mongas. This one. Okay, this is correct, Miss Pipito. It's Zaha Hadid. You will notice these are close up. This is not the entire building even. This is just ordinary materials, glass, steel, concrete, but their careful use of it in their building created a building envelope that became the facade, that became the architectural character, and becomes the building identity and an extension of the architect. Imagine that. It's a wonderful thing. And of course,
Frank Henry.
huh?
Frank Henry.
Sino?
Frank Gehry.
Frank Henry.
Okay? So medyo pabago ako ng pagbago, no? So bago tong dalawang to. You would notice, you know, everyone has used steel. Everyone has used glass. But how they put it together to protect the building. And trust me, hindi lahat ng kliyente basta papayag lang na may design kang ganyan. Kasi parang hindi pinag-isipan. Gawa yan yung anak ko na 5 years old eh. Pero, you have to be able to convince. That's why it's important for architects to be articulate. Kasi sometimes you have to save the client for their mistake. Kasi minsan, sabihin, hindi, wag, ayoko. No, think about this. Whatever you spend, you will get later on. You should be able to convince them with facts. There is a trust right now na evidence-based design. You will hear that in the coming years from your instructors or from your clients or when you graduate. Kasi when you design something, dapat may evidence ka why going in that direction is important. Why that design is yung correct one. Kasi may evidence ka. Kasi po, pag ginawa natin ganito, ganito yung matitipid natin. Pag ginawa natin ito, mas matibay siya by this number of X years. You have evidence to support your design. You have evidence to support your directions na you want to push your design towards. So it's important for us to understand na the building materials that we discussed early on, the building systems that we are still discussing, is to bring us as an architect to understand that it is important for your design not only to be effective and efficient, but creates the identity and the character that extends not only to you, to the building, but to the users. Kasi ang gandang pakinggan na kilala yung designs ninyo. Yung, okay, hindi masyadong kilala siya, pero you would understand na somehow itong buildings na to pare-parehas, meron siyang identity. So the building facade, the building envelope is exactly the things that takes us there. Any questions so far? The next na pag-uusapan natin is energy efficiency. I think I will have to put this off for our next meeting.